Greetings and welcome, fellow developers, programmers, mixed reality gamers. This month, as you may have seen from my previous video, this month I have been working on trying to get my system to work with mixed reality. And as such, we've had a little bit of a mixed result. First off, this isn't a guide to how to use mixed reality. I will probably be doing a guide later in another video, but at the moment this is just my thoughts or the roundup of the February month project of trying to see if I can get mixed reality to work on my system. So I do apologise for any of those that come here looking for step-by-step tutorials. This isn't it. But as I said, stay subscribed, and one of my future videos that I'll be making will be a step-to-step guide on how to set up mixed reality. Saying that, this month has been really trying, especially me trying to see if I can actually get this to work. Firstly, I had to wait for half of the month for my cable to come through. As I said, as you can see here, oh sorry, knocking over the microphone. This is the Quest Link cable. As you can see, oh, if I can wrap it around, well, it is a USB Type A to USB Type C. So that's USB 2. Fiddle. Sorry, let me just put that back down there. So that is a USB A to USB Type C, which is free working at data transport for USB 3.0. Now, when I was trying to get this cable, I was kind of curious. Why can't I use the original cable that came with the Quest? Because hey, that looks pretty much like real. And if I connect the Quest into one side and the laptop into the other side, I might be able to transfer some data from my laptop to my Quest. No, that cable that comes with the Quest is mostly or purely designed to transfer power. Although it can do a little bit of data transfer, it's at a very, very low data transfer rate, and it's not the speed that we need. This cable, as I said, is a USB Type 3.0, or if you look at the side of the, or the other type of way of naming it is SS, and this transfers data at a rate of 5 gigabytes a second rather than a couple of hundred megabytes. That the cable that comes with the Quest normally does. So getting that cable was step one. Step two was getting my laptop upgraded. Now, my laptop had originally 8 gigabytes of RAM made up of 2 4 gigabyte RAM sims. So once I managed to get a 16 gigabyte RAM sim to upgrade it with, I had to dismantle the laptop, take out one sim and put in the 16 gig to make a grand total of 20 gig. So that's one 16 gig RAM sim and one 4 gig RAM sim that was originally there. So managed to upgrade from 8 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes, which I kind of needed to, because it needs the RAM to be able to work with this level technology. Plus I might want to play Star Citizen at a later point in time, but we'll leave that for later. Okay, so laptop upgraded, cable came through. It took us pretty much half the month to actually get to that point. And after that, then we had to start playing around with the software. And oh boy, did I have problems with the software. Well, firstly, I've got like a whole bunch of USB cameras in my drawer that basically got thrown out from my workplace, and they said they didn't want it, so I just took a whole bunch and they let me have it. Promise, I didn't nick from work. It was basically, it was stuff that was going to the bin, and they said, oh, do you mind if I have that? Yeah, sure, take it. So, and that's not my current workplace, that was a workplace I had many years ago. So, in case anyone from my workplace is wondering, I'm thinking I'm nicking work assets. I'm not. It was basically asset disposal stuff from many years ago, and so I was trying to put one in. It worked, but everything was like showing up. Before I go into this a little bit further, let me show you how I got up to this point. Firstly, I was looking through the internet to try and see if I can find some sort of step-by-step guide on how to do mixed reality, and I couldn't find any. I saw a lot of people telling me how to use Live to do mixed reality through Steam for not Oculus Quest, for Vive and other PC VR headsets. You can do it if you were sort of like streaming Steam to the Quest through the Quest link using LIV, but you would then need to buy the games on the Quest. Sorry, buy the games on Steam to actually use, and that's a totally different avenue than buying a game on the Quest and then doing mixed reality through that. I didn't want to be paying extra money for a game that I've already got on the Quest to pay a game for the PC, even though one of the games I've already bought on PSVR, but that's neither here nor there. I just didn't want to buy a game on Steam. So, yeah. So, like I said, there was lots of how to do mixed reality with LIV on Steam, but there wasn't much in the way of mixed reality on the Quest. I did manage to find one tutorial video out there that seemed to be my main, which I used my main go-to video, but it was kind of a poor quality in the fact that he was using very old, outdated software. It was using MCR capture, mixed reality capture software, 2.1 or 2 point something, that was done from some time ago, when the versions up now is like 3.1 or 3 point something, and it is completely different to what he was using. Because when he was using it, it basically had to put in certain things into certain folders, which you still kind of had to do, especially to get the OBS software up to date. Because I think that using OBS was a much better way of doing the mixed capture reality than going through the Steam live streaming by more software route. So that's kind of what we did. We used MRC software which basically means mixed reality capture, to capture the picture we get from the camera to where the headset was. So you had to make sure that the headset was basically looking over the room. So the camera's on the headset, can have a look over the room, and also where your camera was, it sort of correlated the two by setting certain levels on your but by holding up your remote control, you have to click here, click here, click here, click here to get it to work. But yeah, but that's basically just the setting up of the camera level. After you manage to set the camera level up, then we had to work with the OBS software. Now the OBS software was an extra. There was another plugin that you needed to add, and so you added the plugin by downloading the correct file. Like I said, I will be going through this in another video, a step-by-step guide video, at a later point in time, where I'll have all sorts of links and references. That's not this video. That's not this video, but I will be making another video in regards to that. Yeah, so basically we added the plugin, then created the scene. Now the scene on the that I've been seen on the tutorials is basically showing this picture of like this double-sided screen, one half of it blue, one half of it green, and it's supposed to show like the one for the front and one for the back, and I saw none of that. All I saw was one big black screen, and it didn't really do anything. So I had to kind of work out. So at this point I just had to like throw the tutorial away as it was going, and I just had to rack my brain at it for like over a week trying to figure out how to get something going. But at one point I did realise that I managed to get it working to a slight extent. Now this, as you can see here, was I found one of the programs that worked was that I had on tap was Gravity Sketch. Now as you can see, I can start gravity sketching around there, but as you can see the quality is incredibly poor. Now the only reason the quality was poor at this point was because I hadn't turned these light bulbs on here. I hadn't turned these light bulbs on because I wanted to save money on electricity. I wanted to save electricity whilst I was trying to work out how the heck to do this. So I do apologise about the poor quality of this, but as I said, this was only just the first trial run. Then after it got through a little bit, we tried again here, and I realised the way that the OBS software was set up, there was one screen at the front and one screen at the back. And I could not really ever get the one in front to work. So as you can see here, I'm trying to see if I can like draw a sketch around me, going from left to right or right to left, and it just doesn't show in front of me. It will always show behind me. So therefore it didn't work to the level that I needed it to work. But I guess if I keep my mind at it, keep working at it, I might be able to fix that little bug of a problem. However, so the final step that I managed to get was another game that I wanted to work with was Pistol Whip. I found Pistol Whip was one game that worked with mixed reality. So I gave that a try. Now, watching this, before I did this, I matched up the cameras to the controllers almost perfectly in the MRC software. But I don't know what happened between that, because when I was like working on the MRC, the silhouette for the controllers was almost identical to where the actual controllers were in real life. But once I transferred over to Pistol Whip, it looked like it's somewhere in its program decided to throw out its coordinate and say, no, don't want any of that, I'm going to make up my own coordinates, and decided to put my gun half a mile away from me. So yeah, and here at this point, apart from the the controller tracking, the next problem you realise is that I'm in a very, very tiny space here. That you've got my back to the camera, and whenever I'm moving so close to something, like here, it totally destroys the green screen effect, because the light bulbs are shining off my head, and yeah, my slap head here, it's shining off my head and totally messing up the green screen. So therefore, that's the third problem that I have with trying to do mixed reality, and that is the very short confinement of space. I mean, perfect example there. I was just about to say, if I stretch my hands out like this, I would start knocking something over, and as I went like that, I just accidentally knocked this light that's right in front of me. So unfortunately, I am in a tight space here, so that's my area there and there. and here. So going forward, is mixed capture reality liable, a possible thing that we can be using going further forward? I might need to do a little bit more testing, a little bit more playing around, but at the moment, unless I get more room or a bit more space to play around with, I don't think that I'm going to be able to use mixed capture reality properly in my videos, which was a shame, because there was a whole series of videos that I wanted to do, a whole series of going through all the Pistol Whip films, going through all the Pistol Whip Pistol Whip songs, going through all the Pistol Whip songs, going through doing Beat Saber, different levels of Beat Saber, doing expert mode on Beat Saber, maybe playing a few games in Orbis, or just the Jedi Knight training. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that with the mixed capture reality. I would only probably be more likely to be able to do it just standard, me playing around on the green screen, like my gravity sketch video was about. Basically, just working with the green screen behind me and just overlaying game footage from the actual game over the camera. So yeah, that's why I say we've got a little bit of mixed results. Yes, I did manage to get a little bit of green screen gaming going on, but I don't think that's going to be up to the proper quality that I'm seeing other people being able to use. So it's a bit of a shame. Maybe, as I said, with further looking into it, I could get into it, but I think that we're going to have to put a miss on doing mixed capture reality going forward for the moment. Maybe when in the future it might come up. Okay, so that is pretty much the run up for February. January, February, March. So I had to just think of what month is coming up there. So March's project. I've been thinking long and hard what I want to do for the March's project. Maybe I wanted to create like another Unity world, or maybe start doing some work in VR chat, see if I can create a world in there, or do something completely different. But I really do appreciate that I am currently lacking a lot of videos at the moment. So for my March project, I am going to be doing video production. I tend to be able to create a whole heck load of videos for March. And like I said, most of it will probably be just me doing like the Beat Saber, one song a day. It's not going to be that I'm going to do one video a day for all of March. No, I won't be able to do that. The idea for March is that I am going to be able to create 20 videos before the end of March, and then I will schedule those videos to come out. So they may just come out like one day at a time for the next couple of months or so on. But so that's my project for March. See if I can make 20 videos before the end of March. But I will go more into that in the next video. So thanks very much for sorry about that. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed and creating this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys out there.